we are going to look at our fifth example. This example is extension of our fourth example. If you remember, in our fourth example, what we have done, we have read one student information, that means one student number, marks, grade and GPA from the student underscore data.txt file into our program, and we have printed out that information. In this example, what we are trying to do, we are trying to read information for 4 different students and print out those information from my program. Right? So basically what we have done in this program, we have executed our if scanf for statement inside a for loop. Now those 4 statements, that is reading student number, marks, grade and GPA, will be repeatedly executed for 4 times using these for loops. Then it can read the student information stored in the entire student underscore data.txt file. Right? So that is what we are going to do in this program. So this program will read the information for 4 different students from my student underscore data.txt file. Let's try to understand this program by looking at the program execution and its memory in the computer. So always my program execution begin with the first statement in the main function. So what is my first statement in the main function? It is, I am declaring a student number character array in my program memory. So if I look at the memory of this program, so this is how my memory look like. So I have the main function memory. After executing of my first statement, the highlighted statement in my program, so this is how my memory look like. It will create a character array called student number where I can store 20 different character values. Right? The next statement, so after execution of next statement, what it will do, it will create the integer variable in my memory, and this is how my memory look like after creating of that integer variable. Right? The next statement, third statement in my program is it's creating a character variable called grade. So after executing of that statement, so this is how my program memory look like. So now I have character variable that is called grade, so where I can store character value. My fourth statement, it's declaring a floating point variable called GP. So after execution of that statement, so this is how my program memory look like. So right now, after execution of those 4 declaration statement, this is how my program memory look like. Right? So after that, I'm going to execute the file $fp. In that statement, I'm creating a file point. So after execution of that statement, so this is how my memory look like. So fp is a pointer variable, so that is why we have an arrow, right? So it can point into somewhere. Initially, it is not pointing to anywhere. Initially, it will be pointing to null file point, right? So after execution of this statement, so this is how my memory look like. Right? So technically you can think as like this is assigning into null file pointer, right? After you declare the file pointer, right? Then my computer will execute the next statement, that is the assignment statement. It will try to open the student underscore data.txt file, and it will assign that open file to my fp file point. So after execution of this statement, if open statement, so this is how my memory look like. Right? So I have my program has opened the student underscore txt file, right? And that file containing this information for 4 different students, right? And So after execution of this up to this statement, so this is how my program memory look like. So in order to open that file, so we are assuming that student underscore data.txt file is in my current folder. So in the next statement, what it is a if statement. I'm checking whether my file pointer is equal to null file pointer or not. Right now, you can see file pointer is pointing to the student underscore data.txt file. So it is not pointing to null file pointer. It is not equal to null file pointer. So this condition becomes false. So that means I'm not going to execute the inner statement of the if statement. So I'm going to skip this inner statement and I'm going to execute the rest of the statement in my program. So rest of the statement, I have a for loop. So I'm trying to execute this for loop. The first, I'm going to execute the initialization statement. The initialization statement, what I'm going to do, I'm going to declare an integer variable called I, and I'm going to assign the value 0 to my I variable. So after execution of the for loop initialization statement, so this is how my memory look like. I have the value 0 in my I variable. After that, what I need to do in order to execute the for loop, so I need to check the condition. Is I is less than 4? Right now I value is 0 and it is less than 4. So condition becomes true. Now I'm going to read the student number, marks, grade and GP. So once I read the student number, it will store. So this is how my memory look like after reading the first student number. Right? So at the last, C language will automatically put the null character. So we will talk about this character later. For right now, you can easily assume this one will get the PS/2019/001. So that is the first string. So string will be delimited by the reading character, either space or tab or new line character. Right? So that is how my memory look like after execution of the first scanf statement. The second if scanf statement, it will read the integer value. So it will read this 70 into my marks variable. So after execution of the second if scanf in the first iteration of the loop, it will have the value 70. Then after execution of the third statement, it will read a character value from my file stream. So it will read the character A to my grade variable. Right? Then in the fourth if scanf statement, it will read the GPA to my GPA variable. Then I will have the 3.87 in here. So that is 3.42. Right? So now I have read all the information relevant to my first student. Right? So this line I have read and stored in my memory. Right? So now after completing the four scanf statement, then I'm going to print the student number, mark, grade and GPA. It will display the first student information in the output stream. So basically this information will be displayed in the output stream. Right? Then I have completed all the inner statement in my for loop. Then I have reached to the end of the for loop. So still I cannot exit from my for loop because I need to go and do the update statement and check the condition. If that condition becomes false, only I can exit from the for loop. Then I'll go to update my I value. So I'm going to increment my I value by 1. Current I value is 0. If I update the I value, then it will get the new I value as 1. Then I'm checking the condition is I is less than 4. Right now I value is 1. 1 is less than 4. This condition becomes true. Then I'm going to read the first, I'm going to execute the first if scanf statement. Then at the reading the last value 3.42, my reading cursor will be actually it will read the new line character, and now reading cursor will be at the beginning of the second line. So now my if scanf will read the second student number. So that will be read and that will be stored in the same memory location as the student number BS 2019-002. Right? So after execution of the reading the second student number, so this is how my memory look like. Second time if scanf integer, it will read the 80. Then it will read the character value A, that's same as previous one. Then it will read the GPA, that is 3.34. Right, so this is how my memory look like when I do the scanf for the second iteration. Then I'm going to print the second student information. So in the output stream, it will print the second student information. Right. Now I have completed execution of this printf statement. Then I have reached to the end of the for loop. Then what is the next step I need to do? I need to go here and update my I value. So after I update the I value, new I value will be 2. Right. Then after updating the I value, then I need to check the condition. So new I value is 2, 2 is less than 4. Is this condition becomes true or false? So this condition becomes true. Then what I am going to do? I am going to read the third student information, student number, marks, grade and GP. So third student information will be E 2019 003. Then his marks will be 75 and grade will be A, GPA will be 3.56. Right. So this is how my memory look like if I do the post if scanf statement for the third time. So this is how my memory look like. Then I'm going to do the printf statement. Then if I do the printf statement, so my output stream will display the third student information. Right, so this is how my output look like. So after execution of this printf statement, so that's the end of my for loop. So then I need to go and update my I value again. So after updating I value, currently I value is 2. After updating I value, new I value will be 3. So now I need to check the condition, 3 is less than 4. So this condition becomes true. Then I'm going to go and read the fourth student information. So that is I'm going to read the fourth student information, that is HS 2019 004. Then I will read the marks to be 70, grade to be A and GPA to be 3.87. So this is how my memory look like after execution of this if scanf statement for the fourth time. Then I'm going to print that student information, that's student number, marks, grade and GPA. So it will basically print this student information in the output stream after execution of that printf statement. Right. Now after completing that printf statement, that's all in a statement in my for loop. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to update my I value by 1. So currently I value is 3. After updating I value by 1, new I value will be 4. Now once I update the I value, I need to check the condition. Right now I value is 4. Condition is I value is less than 4. Right now I value is 4. 4 is less than 4. This condition becomes false. Right. So that means I can safely exit from my for loop and then I can execute the rest of the statement in my program. So next statement in my program is the if close FP. So that means I'm basically closing my file. So closing my file means I'm assigning my file pointer into the null file pointer. So after execution of this statement, so what I'm going to do in my memory, I'm assigning my file pointer to the null file pointer. So right now this memory is not attached into the anywhere in my program. So this memory can be utilized for any other purposes in my program or computer. Right. So this is what happened if I execute the fclose fp command. Right. So in the last statement, I'm going to exit from my main program. So my program should produce this output. So let's execute this program and see the outcome of this program. So first of all, let's compile this program, GCC example5.c. So that is the program that I want to compile. And then I'm going to execute that program. So now you can see it has displayed all the 4 student information. There's one issue in this program. So what happened to our first student information? that will be overridden by the second student information. What happened for the second student information? That it has overridden by the third student information. What happened to third student information? That has overridden by the fourth student information. So in this program, there is no way we can store all the four student information in my program memory. So in next example, what we are trying to do, we are trying to modify this program where we can store all the four student information in my computer memory. So in the next video, we will look at how we can do that one.